This NFL Week 1 preseason football and PLL Week 9 picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $15 million at Best Ball Mania 5. Sign up with SGPN to claim your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL picks and projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
What's up, guys? This is Carson Steele. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. So much going on right now, Sean. Way too much. As you can see, we're just a couple lax bros sitting over here getting ready to talk about some PLL and football.
Yes. PLL and preseason decided to combine them and joined with our lax laddie himself, Mr. CJ Sullivan, aka the Deli Llama, aka the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. What's happening, CJ?
How we doing here as we fade into the end of the season? I see, Sean, you already got rid of the Waterdogs.
Well, I said I would not put my Waterdogs gear on until they either fired their coach or made the playoffs. They've since got eliminated from the playoffs in humiliating fashion. I mean, as a Waterdogs fan, the one thing I was holding on to was goal differential. That was our stat. That was our thing. That got blown up. CJ's Carolina Chaos. Just two birds with one stone, eliminating the dogs from playoff contention.
Yeah, it's not Carolina had its best win of the weekend for sure. Blaze. Blaze
going coast to coast, scoring his own. I mean, goalie scoring goals is pretty awesome, and I will say, far and away our best week on the show picks wise. Yeah. CJ and Kramer both 6-3. I was 5-3.
No, we had that first.
Oh, because you had the first half as well. That's right. Okay, I was trying to figure out the.
When it's a winner, I mean, it's nice to have that extra win. You know?
So yes, I was also 6-3, and I hit my first ever parlay of the show.
Nice.
Granted, it was only a two teamer, and I probably should have been 7-2. But bad beats on the under of the Redwoods Outlaws game, which was clearly going to go over 24.5, game called for Lightning. But I was on the right side of it with my underdog picks in the Hall of Fame game. So
apologies, Sean. You were actually 5-4.
5-4. Yeah. What the hell?
It's all right. I was right and wrong at the same time. But yeah, I was. I managed to catch you in the season-long competition.
All right. I only count the pollays.
Also an RIP to the Blaze under, by the way.
God.
Finally, streak was broken, but it took a thick 6 by Blaze himself for scoring, opening the game.
That exhausted him.
Yeah, that exhausted him. And if he's scoring goals, then the unders are going to be in trouble. But he has the most points by a goalie in PLL history. He got his 1,000th save.
It was a glorious day.
An amazing day for Blaze and the Chaos.
It sucked we couldn't be celebrating an under with
that's true.
His 1,000th save.
Agree.
All right, joining us on the line, talking PLL. You know him, you love him. Dan Neuby Alexander. What's happening, Neuby?
It's good to be back with you boys. I've been MIA.
Yes.
That's on me. I'm back in the home studio. It's when I finally not on the show, you guys are actually hitting your picks. So maybe we should have given me the short hook and kept me out of here. I think I'm bringing the ship down. It seems like.
Well, we were saving the good picks for when you weren't here.
All right.
Yeah,
it's like what I do to you and what I do on Twitter. It's a symbiotic relationship we have going on.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, both Kramer and I, again, new to the PLL, 8 teams in the league. 6 make the playoffs. Kramer and I somehow managed to lock up the 2 teams that are eliminated already from the playoffs. So really, ultimate mush.
I did pivot off of a New York team too. So
yes, the Atlas were right there. I even tried to tell Kramer, sure you don't want to be an Atlas fan, and apologies to the city of Philadelphia. I would like to think all the bad mojo, the negative vibes, the poor team chemistry that is plaguing this Waterdog season, getting it out of the way, clean, good vibes for the Eagles coming into the NFL
Philly
season.
fan, jumping.
We can't have all our teams be good, Ryan.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going with the fly, Devonta Fly down low. I got the Lacrosse Network up top. I saw that you guys were talking preseason and PLL, so I'm on the same vibe with you, man. Like yes, I want to keep cashing in, but I'll be damned if I'm not just betting random unders in NFL preseason.
It is fun. So Waterdogs and Redwoods, they're gonna actually be playing here for the first overall pick. So at least they have that on the line. But Neuby, looking at this card, what is jumping out at you? What do you like so far on this week's slate?
So just before we got on here as well, the player props started rolling in. So they knew that you guys were going live. So like live on the air, we got player props that we're looking at now over on the book that's going to charge us tax when we win with them now. But that's for another show to talk about. But one that stood out to me right away is Philadelphia, the fact that they're in full fire sale mode. They trade Ryan Conrad, who's kind of been underwhelming for Philadelphia, but he's been underwhelming because the entire team has been underwhelming. If there's anything I know about the PLL, whenever these trades happen, these dudes make a splash right away. So there's no way come Saturday that Ryan Conrad's going to be 2-1 to score a goal in the first quarter. He's going to get burned because we've seen some injuries go for the Whipsnakes. So the break your heart Philadelphia and eat your heart out. Now the guy's on a different team. And now he's actually scoring goals. We got to go with a first quarter scorer on Ryan Conrad in the Whipsnakes game to start the weekend at a 2-1. And all the games this weekend, boys, going to be some late night action, some after dark PLL when things get real dirty under the lights. So it should be a good weekend.
Now, starting with
I do
Friday
like
night.
We have a 10:30 East Coast start time for a game, and it's between two teams who aren't in a 6-team playoff in an 8-team league.
Could go down.
Neuby, we saw a question. We saw that on the ticker there. What is the trade deadline in this league? Philadelphia's trade. I mean, they're eliminated and they're allowed to empty their roster out to some winners. Like, what's going on here?
If this was in fantasy, the commissioner would have to step in.
There'd be a whole Twitter
thread
about it.
I mean, this is week.
No,
10
we actually
out loud.
So with the pro lacrosse talk, guys, with our bet on lacrosse thing that we did. My one buddy Hutton Jackson literally made like a spreadsheet PLL fantasy league, and even we have tighter trade rules. Like he was like, no one who's eliminated from the playoffs is allowed to drop.
Right.
So, dude, your guess is as good as mine. You know, finding a press release on when the trade deadline is, but I'll tell you what, with this Waterdogs team, so they're eliminated, and for all intents and purposes, California is not technically eliminated yet. They don't have the E next to their name, but they have a negative 32 goal differential, boys. If I'm using my abacus, that's not good. They're going to have to gain some ground because the scoring differential is the ultimate difference maker. And they would need Denver to lose out or Carolina to lose out, and they would need to make up on a negative 32 goal differential. But what I was going to say about this Waterdogs team is not only did they lose Ryan Conrad, I think they have just about, it's either 10 to a dozen players who are going to be free agents after this season. So they lose their head coach. Now they're switching all this other stuff up. So everyone's talking about how, the Waterdogs, is the heartbreaker spot. California's eliminated too. Like, come 10:30, which we got finally some East Coast bias fading away. Philadelphia's got to play a 10:30 body clock game. Again, tongue in cheek as I say that, but give me that 1.5 with the Redwoods too, boys. Plus 105. We get points, which we know is a good spot in this league. And the Philadelphia Waterdogs just had their dream crusher last week. Like I love fading a team after they had their dreams dashed. California had no dreams. They were already supposed to be the worst team in the league. So this is nothing new to them. Give me that 1.5 because it ain't going to be plus money come late night action.
Kind of reminds me of the Giants. Hey, we thought we were gonna suck coming
That's a
into
straight
the
shot.
season.
Uncalled for. Uncalled for.
I know what this is a sign of seeing the intensity at those joint practices with the Lions and being a little worried, being a little
scared.
nervous.
Danny Dimes.
You went from
back.
0% nervous to 5 to 8% nervous, and you're not handling it well right now. It's like me with a little humidity.
All right, Neuby. People always enjoy it. The baby whale play of the day.
Right, do that one again.
AKA a little dolphin action here.
The Orcacle.
You are back on the West Coast,
Orcacle.
near the ocean. The Orcacle ready to fire.
Yes.
What do we have a baby whale ready for the good folks?
So on a Tuesday, I love typically going with these player props. I like that Ryan Conrad one. But honestly, for me, my little early week actions. This is a true baby beluga. I don't know when you believe life begins, but this may be a fetus beluga because I'm not fully in love with it. Just quite yet. But for me, boys, I think the Denver Outlaws are about to have themselves a weekend. They get to go homecoming. They could clinch when they too, just like Carolina or California, were projected to be one of the worst teams in the league. So at minus 110 against the Whipsnakes, I think that's a real nice price that you're getting. And if you shop around, you could even get even money on it. I think that's going to flip. So Denver Outlaws, if you got to lay the 110 and pay the tax coming up, you can do it at the Green Book, over at the Blue Book, get that even money. Denver Outlaws to start the weekend. Everybody's high on the Whipsnakes. They clinched last weekend. Denver could clinch on this weekend. I think they do it at a nice even money price. Fetus beluga.
Let's go and stay tuned to see what that beluga grows into, because I know you got a bunch of good plays, bunch of good podcasts. You can get it all over on X at Neuby Talks. Check out his podcast. Neuby, appreciate you hopping on, man.
Always a pleasure, boys. Let's get this money this week, gentlemen.
Let's go. And speaking of getting that money, of course, you can get it over on Underdog Fantasy when you sign up using our promo code SGPN. Get you a nice deposit match, a little deposit bonus, get you started for the weekend. Maybe you're doing some of those Best Ball Mania drafts, get you, 15 million in prizes. Of course, you can fire on some PLL, higher, lower, pick 'em. They have preseason NFL pick 'em. I mean, what more do you want? Season long NFL. I've been loving some JJ McCarthy, lower 18.5 passing touchdowns. Don't see that coming through for old JJ. A lot of ways to win over on underdogfantasy.com. Use our promo code SGPN. Get your sweet deposit bonus and a special pick offer. And of course, we're also brought to you by Circa Million, Circa Survivor. Kramer and I are going to be hanging out at Circa tomorrow for Bet Bash. Going to be out there for contest weekend. CJ will be out there for contest weekend, August 22nd through the 24th, signing up for these contests, the road to 10 million or maybe 16 million. Maybe you win Circa Millions and Circa Survivor.
Oh, wow.
What's stopping you?
That would be a hell of a double.
I mean, holding 2 giant checks from Derek.
No, the plan was to win them both, but obviously the 10 million, I believe, will probably be chopped a little bit, maybe with you two. So with the 6 million, it'll equal 10 million.
I like that.
That was kind of.
And we talked to our buddy Chris Farley of at Farley Bets, who he came in like 20th place or something. He won 144K. He had the giant check from Derek. I think it's on his Twitter bio. And we asked him like, hey, he's on the East Coast. I'm like, how'd you get the check back? Right. He brought the check to the airport, and then they wanted like $400 to you basically have to buy a seat for the check. And he said, fuck it. He threw it out at the airport. Maybe that could be you. That really is living the dream.
You just need the picture.
Yeah. We got the deal with the proxy, of course, proxy.footballcontest.com, promo code SGP. And again, for the hotel, SGP 15% off August 22nd through the 24th, circusports.com.
I will say that one of my biggest gambling disappointments came last year in the Circa Millions contest when I think 2 wins out of the min cash, which is still like 58%. Like I got a great season,
Oh, it feels great to min cash in a contest like
because
that.
we were going to set it up where I would get one of those bogus those huge checks for the min cash and have Derek set that up for publicity. That would have been a great shot for like 2K.
It was fun. It was also great to see Derek like react to the fact that these checks do actually cost a couple bucks.
Yeah,
because he was like, hey, you know, Derek's a man of the dollars, you know, so he, you know, he's not trying to.
Right, but he also has vision, and he knows that would be great publicity.
Let me read
a jumbo size large.
100%. Let me retake that. He's a plus EV guy.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
All right. So. What was it? Neuby dropped some bombs on us. I like that goal angle, 100%.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Let's talk about those futures odds because I wrote out on the sheet. The reason I wrote out on the sheet is because I was over at as he calls it, the blue book. They didn't have odds up for the Redwoods. Maybe some more ethical practices being happening. Because the other book has them at 150 to 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not mathematically limited, like Neuby was saying.
It's the friends and family thing.
All right,
they'll list anyone in the future. So 150 to 1 for my Redwoods. They're still alive.
They are still alive. They do need Blaze to get blown out twice. Not just lose. He has to get blown out.
Destroyed, right?
It would take an act of God.
Blaze.
I see the chat. Shout out to the chat. Virgil checking in. He says Whipsnakes are going to smash Denver 16-12. So he's not liking the mini whale there by our boy Neuby. And Jonah sweating out a Whips over 5.5 regular season wins. Love the DGen sweating out some PLL futures
because they have a bye next week too. They have to get it done this week. But I'm with Neuby on that one. Well, not to spoil, but
no spoiling here. Kramer, let's get into the picks.
Right, so first game, as Neuby said, Friday night, competing with preseason NFL. Okay, interesting decision.
Then these are all in Denver at elevation.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's the Denver homecoming. So again, first time we're getting a little. Yeah, so local time we're going an hour or 6 p.m. an hour after what I'm saying. But Denver finally the West Coast getting some love here. Back to back West Coast trips. The Whipsnakes futures all the way down to plus 550. They're taking on the homecoming Outlaws. Formerly the Chrome. I hope the fans aren't confused. Maybe they'll have some sweet foam something being given out. I mean, after the Redwoods showed up like that, Denver's really going to have to. I can't imagine an encore performance. -1.5 for the Whipsnakes, plus 115 on the money line, -120 if you want to take them on the money line. Outlaws plus 100, 25.5 is the total. I saw Brennan O'Neill is plus 100 to score a goal in this one.
No,
not overall. That
must be first quarter.
First quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, CJ.
Let's go here.
This guy's new to PLL. Come on,
it's outrageous.
Sounds like you're taking the homecoming.
Well,
Outlaws.
I want to take the Outlaws. They're interesting though. I feel like they've had a couple games where they put up a ton of goals and then
they've sucked the rest of the time. That's the handicap on them.
No, but they as of late though, they put up 15 against the Waterdogs week 6, only 10 against the Cannons, but the Cannons are a pretty tough team, and then obviously destroyed your Redwoods. I don't know. It seems like they figured out whatever sort of offensive struggles they had and kind of on a roll here. I do like the elevation angle. I do like the homecoming angle. I think historically we've liked the homecoming teams in these first games, with the exception of the Waterdogs, who are a complete pile of shit. So I do, and I'll ride with my boy Neuby. I'll take Denver plus 1.5 on the ball line, but I think the money line when we talk Pole will be pretty good. And I don't know about the 25.5. It feels like they've kind of gotten burned from some of these totals and are riding them up a little bit. But what are you doing, CJ?
First of all, Denver is very hot. They are a hot team. The hometown. I don't see. I think this handicap is pretty easy with Maryland clinching the playoffs last week, and they have the bye next week. They have no chance of getting a bye. Denver, they have to win to get in. And they actually have a chance to get a bye and win the conference. If they win both, they need a little help with that. But but it's still possible. But you want a team that needs a win to get in and to get into the. Let's properly call it, by the way. It's the 2024 Cash App playoffs.
Yeah, it's the Cash App playoffs.
Shout out to Cash App.
Yeah, if it's a Pitbull Stadium, but yeah, as we said with Ryan Conrad coming over there, we don't know what this trade deadline situation is, but it sounds like they're hurt. I don't see Maryland giving a damn about this game, and the homecoming and everything with the Denver area. I love Denver in this game. And
are you gonna we'll officially say plus 1.5, and then maybe a little money line on the Pole?
Easy money line. What is the odds? I saw Denver was -120, Maryland -1. 10 or something like that.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Right now, we're showing even money on Denver. So
I would like to even look at if you can. I mean, I haven't seen too many alt numbers and the PLL numbers, but I would definitely lay to 1.5 with Denver.
Yeah,
and they're a rested team. Let's not forget. I mean, they barely played a half of lacrosse there versus those Deadwoods, and then then it was called with the entire fourth period to go.
Do we like?
I didn't appreciate that name. I
came up with it on the fly. Though.
that was very
it was too good to hold back.
I'm gonna.
I had waterlogs though earlier in the season.
Sean, if you could play the breaking news.
Yes.
The chair I'm sitting on has broken.
No,
that's not the breaking news.
Broken chairs.
I have an apology for the city of Denver.
Okay. What do you got?
This shit sold out.
Really?
Oh man.
I mean,
you can
Denver is
barely get a
Lacrosse City.
single game ticket for. They're actually so in demand. The Saturday games are being sold as separate tickets. It's not even a what? You don't get to stay for the
You
whole
don't
thing.
get the conference tournament double game, double day selection.
I'm just saying it.
That's awesome.
That's how much demand there is in Denver.
I might say this is actually where it really boils down to. I know you passed on New York as your team, but Denver is definitely the team you should have adopted.
Yeah.
I was considering Denver.
I mean,
I'll just take
it was
all the
right there
Western
for
teams.
us with the number one. With
I know.
I mean, everything about it.
Brennan O'Neill.
You know, it's perfect.
Superman
for
himself. I think I got to take the home team with this kind of potential crowd situation.
I love Denver in this situation.
What do we like total wise?
Always the under.
I know you're right. The number does seem a little high. I think Maryland is going to be kind of deflated. I have to play under, but it's hard to get in front of this Denver offense too. The way
you know what? Yeah, you're right. Let's go over 25.5. I know it's a little inflated number, but
how many you think they would have scored last week if they were allowed to play 4 goals? They almost had 30 on their own.
It's an outlier. You guys are being donkeys chasing. You know those goals those tallies don't count this week.
I mean, Outlaws, Waterdogs. That total was at 28.
We're tailing tallies.
I'm sorry. I'm just so there's so many practice videos of the Giants fighting that I just want to watch. I mean, football is fucking back.
Let's get to some preseason
night game. If you're on the East Coast, 7:30 or I'm sorry, 10:30 on the East Coast. Will anyone stay up to watch the Waterdogs and Redwoods?
Yeah,
Waterdogs are out. But they're laying a goal and a half, minus 130, minus 175 on the money line. Redwoods are not being given much respect here. 22.5 is
Roll Woods.
Wow.
I don't see how you could take. I think the play is the under.
No, I actually love the over here because I mean the backup goalie that the Redwoods offense is really bad.
Both these teams can't score.
I know.
I've watched too much bad lacrosse.
Yeah. But the backup goalie that they started is bad. I think they're just not going to play much defense. And with the season out the window for both of them, essentially, I think it's going to be a goal fest. I like California plus 1.5, and I like the over 22.5. And you're not going to be able to talk me out of it.
Okay.
Now you ask who is going to stay up to watch this game?
You obviously.
CJ will.
Yeah, but you're on the West Coast.
Not this CJ.
Hashtag Legends only.
Not this CJ. CJ Kirst, who is going to be the number 1 overall pick in the PLL next year.
Yes.
And
decide where he's going to end up.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So CJ Kirst, the dynamite
putting
lefty.
your draft dick on the table.
He's a dynamic lefty from Cornell, and he will be the number 1 overall pick. And this is what this bowl is for. So
Cornell,
yeah, absolutely.
It's red.
Now, do they do a thing where the winner gets it? Is that what they do? I know some leagues do that where the.
I don't think so. I think it is I'll double check.
I think I said that because that's what
did the Chrome do.
UFL just did that.
Yeah,
where the last
former United
exactly.
Football League.
Or whatever the hell it is. XFL.
Who
UFL,
won last year? The Archers. They had the last pick, and the Waterdogs had the 7th pick.
Well, Denver had the number 1 pick.
Yeah, Denver was 1. Atlas were 2.
So imagine that was the worst record. Yeah. So
that's
what this is for.
It's not a snake. Well, there's some weird shit that it does not appear to be a snake draft. It's a standard draft.
So yeah.
Oh, it's a lottery. Wait, I don't know. That's from 2019.
I mean,
I'll do some more research.
Right.
Chad, if you know, tell us so we don't look like idiots. I
don't know if I lead into anything about California still being mathematically that minus 32 goal differential is whopping.
Yeah.
I love how it still counts even though they only played 3 quarters. I mean,
it is the books wouldn't have counted.
Is there a scenario where they have to replay 1 period?
Especially if the goal differential comes into play.
Yeah.
I don't think they're replaying anything.
Can they get a field schedule?
I don't think they had house rules saying the game had to finish either. Any book,
right?
I mean, I certainly took a loss.
We'll deep dive. CJ, so what are you doing here in this one?
I will take what was it total? 23.5?
22.5.
22.5. I'll still take the under. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care if I like that theory though, how they'll be whipping away because there's no caution to the wind, but they're just so bad. Both these teams are terrible.
That is fair.
And it is amazing that both of you pick. There's only 2 teams that don't make the playoffs in the entire league, and they are both the teams you guys adopted. It's just incredible work by both of you.
Great job by us.
Yeah. So I like that angle though. I like Philly absolutely getting their hearts ripped out, trading away players now is never a good sign. So I'll take California, who still at least has some, some kind of will to them. And California got embarrassed last week.
Yeah.
So I think
bounce back spot. Is there a close your eyes special in lacrosse, Ryan? Because they would qualify.
I mean, this
West Coast too.
I don't understand how a team can be so bad. Like the odds make total sense. Remember how we were like, well, how are they going to make the odds for one team so long? Yeah, under and
you're wrong.
So is that plus money on the 1.5?
Oh yeah, plus 110.
Well, give me that, and I'll take that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That's the lock of the century.
All right, Sunday.
Woods plus 1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A meaningless lacrosse game.
Saturday. During more preseason NFL football, 11:30 on the West Coast. The Archers and the Atlas, nice little matchup here. 2 of the best teams in the league. Atlas -1.5, -105, -140 on the money line, plus 115 coming back. 27.5 is the total. Wow. Big number there. Big number. We can start with the under. I mean, Sean, you were on to something with maybe this is just the Birmingham Stallions.
Yes.
With the Atlas.
Yes.
So when a contender comes in, we're going to get him at a very cheap price, and we should just take it, right?
I think so. I mean, what are you saying? Are you trying to say the Archers are the?
No, I'm trying to say we just take the Atlas here because we're being
even
given
at plus
a gift.
200. Yeah.
Even though the Archers might have some elevation advantage.
Well, they're coming. Atlas also coming off a bye. Yeah, I mean, they had that one loss against the Trash Cannons. They were bound to slip up eventually, but they're coming off the win over the Waterdogs. But after that was the bye. I mean, I think people forgot how dominant this Atlas team was. Jeff Teed is still a massive favorite to win the MVP. I am laying it with the New York Atlas at -1.5. I think people might be scared away because they didn't cover against the Waterdogs, but I mean, again, that was you could see that coming a mile away. The Waterdogs had a great first half and then fumbled the lead, fumbled their season. Atlas -1.5 all day. CJ.
I'm sorry. I was laughing because I'm watching Kramer.
I'm learning how I was starting to do some research.
Our fantasy league has that same ping pong ball system they are using with the from a church raffle. When you get the things going to pick out the order.
In fairness, this is the same one from 2019 that Sean was referencing, but they literally just randomized it.
Fair enough. I agree with New York here. They yes, they clinched the playoff. That's kind of when they had that letdown spot that we as predicted, as you said, Sean. But now they need that bye week too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they need to win that conference, and they are tied with Boston. They have a 14-point lead, so they can control their own destiny. So if they lose, things get murky. Now Utah needs to win and get in, and they are a contender, but they are definitely a tier below New York there. So I think you're getting a pretty cheap price on New York coming off the bye, who needs to focus up and get back into playoff form. So I'll lay to 140 with New York, and definitely. And I think because
you're being a sharp, not laying that 1.5.
Yeah, take the money line.
Razor.
Right. Yeah, it is probably a little better.
I'll lay the -1.5.
All right.
I'm not scared.
Kramer's not scared. Total 27.5 is
Under.
A bonkers total.
Gaudy
total.
Repugnant.
What are you doing, CJ?
I'm going under there. That's just out of principle. And coming off a bye and maybe a playoff atmosphere as well. I think it'll be locking in. I mean, Utah's good, and they do have a high flying offense, and it's obvious why this number is so high. But I think it'll be more of a tight, especially when you get in the fourth quarter in these intense games.
And Jonah pointing out it is just the worst team. So loser gets the #1 pick. So maybe something to build on for the old trust the process. Apparently with the Waterdogs.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I would say that worth going to this 2019 draft lottery video Comment number 1. I love how the spinning contraption intended to randomize doesn't jostle the balls at all. They all stay exactly in the same place as he turns the crank. What they should
one of the balls cold?
What they should have done
is it a frozen envelope?
This guy solves the what they should have done is inserted a small flat paddle or 2 inside the drum that would hit the blah blah blah. Anyway, then the next comment. It sure looks like he can see the ball he's picking. Maybe he should have waited to open the envelope until after he picked the ball. Basically, they're saying this thing was this fucking rigged.
I like it. PLL conspiracy.
We had a similar situation in our fantasy football league. Actually, recently
someone rigged it.
Well, we hired Jim Miller on Cameo to pick our draft order.
Oh, that's fun.
Ex-Bears quarterback Jim Miller, who does radio, I think, in Chicago now. It's a Chicago-based league, and the video is great. He did a good job, but he's picking names out of the hat. And we trust me, we analyze this film like this Buddha film. He just massaged the names. He didn't shuffle them at all. You know,
that's lazy.
And he just massaged them and just picked them up like in order as I wrote them.
2024. Understand how to share a fucking randomized wheel on the screen.
My God, I know, right?
Everyone knows how to go to wheelofrandom.com or just literally Google. Give me a spinning wheel.
I didn't mind the analog Jim, but come on, Jim, rustle it around in there, and we analyze this.
If he's gonna be lazy, you don't want him to be fucking massaging your names. All right. So we're all good unders and
yeah. Did you say under New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
money line. Oh no, you laid the 1.5. I forgot you laid the 1.5.
I'm on the under.
Yeah,
I'll take the money line. I'm a coward.
Yeah, you gotta use one hand to hold your skirts down.
I save my plus money for my poles.
Okay.
Last game, let's go.
It would be good to hold the skirt down with the pole leg coming. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. We got the Chaos and the Outlaws. Like second game.
French pole vaulter. His pole down.
Ah man, long. Both horrible that he lost the medal because of his dick, but also amazing his dick was like world news for a day.
Yeah, they're talking about. Oh, I feel terrible for you. You feel bad for him.
Going
you feel
viral for having a giant cock.
The whole world knows he has an Olympic-sized fucking pole.
You know what? I bet you he'll have more memories now than if he
Olympic Village.
His best things are in front of him. Right.
Well, they have those sex-proof beds. You've read about them. They just too much weight and they collapse like a fucking rat trap.
They dump condoms down like they used to dump rice on Ethiopia. Like it's like for helicopters come, just like these crates of helicopters.
You don't think these really fit people could have sex standing up? You morons! What a dumb. All right, Chaos Outlaws. Chaos getting some respect here. -1.5 plus 110. -125 on the money line. Outlaws plus 105 on the way back. 23.5 is the total. Do the Outlaws double up? First of all, this is a very high total. It's like they won the trend loses one time and they just go whoop.
I mean, I think this is unfortunately for CJ, and I'm considering riding the Chaos in the playoffs. But I think this is a letdown spot for the Chaos. I mean, Blaze going coast to coast.
6-6.
Yeah, what did they won? That went to overtime, right?
15-14, not in overtime.
No, it was almost overtime.
They scored. That was a great game. The first quarter was nuts. Went over in the end. They won 15-14. They scored 4 minutes to go and they had to hold on.
I am going to be very supportive of CJ through this postseason process. If I can remember, while football's going
plenty
on.
of room on a Chaos bandwagon. There was no problem. No problem to join in.
I'm certainly going to root for them over the trash cannons.
I'm an Outlaws guy.
I don't know about the Outlaws could be, if they double up, they can clinch.
I think this is a perfect if bet situation once again here.
Oh.
If Denver wins that first game versus Maryland, like we think,
they might let down.
They're going to have the letdown. Saturday night, separate tickets. It's a whole new fan base coming in on Saturday. That was breaking news.
Yeah, actually, that is worth noting. There are separate fans going to each game on
Blaze fans
Saturday.
Travel.
And this is novel, and this is the first time they're doing this in the PLL.
And they're going to come into a team that's already kind of laid back after they already clinched. They already missed the party, which is going to happen on Friday night. This is kind of like, the cleanup crew. And Carolina still needs to win to get in. I mean, there's no time for a letdown spot. Technically, they're still not in the Cash App playoffs. So one win, and they even have a chance for a bye. One win. And if they win out 6-4, And
all right, you're talking me into the chaos. Give me the chaos.
And Utah and Denver go 1 and 2. They win. They get the bye.
I think the chaos is the play.
Yeah, absolutely. Chaos
Carolina
is the bye.
on the money line, and we got to go back to Blaze unders, right? 23 and a
Yeah,
half.
absolutely. Blaze under.
And you can start.
He's still gassed from running up the field. He's not going to score.
That's a lock. You
Right.
can put that right in the lock.
I know.
bucket.
All right.
Yeah, the number's right back in our alley at 23 and a half.
So let's get it lock, and Polay, and then we'll get to some NFL preseason. Kramer, what do you got? So you got the Carolina under 23 and a half.
Of course.
Okay.
And then I think we're just going to go with the Atlas. I think we're just getting a cheap price because a team's going to come near them. They got to get into playoff form. It's the Cash App playoffs are right around the corner.
Atlas laying the 1.5, and Polay, what do you got?
Let's make sure we clip that and tag Cash App. Maybe we can get a little bag. I think we just have to go with a couple unders. I'm gonna keep it simple this week. We're gonna go under in the Blaze game. We're gonna go under in the game that doesn't matter.
Under in Carolina, under in Philly, Cali,
And then that Whipsnakes game. How does that get over 25.5? So a three under weave.
under Denver, under Maryland.
Game 1, yeah.
Okay,
game
so
1.
3 unders.
Well, actually,
Parlayed.
both Denver games under and the Redwoods under.
So all 4 unders.
Just not the New York under. The 2 Denver unders and the Redwoods Waterdogs under. You already have it.
Okay.
Yeah, you just wrote Maryland for one of the Denver games and Carolina for the other.
Yeah. All right.
So not the under of 27 and a half.
No,
I like that.
Because I do think when you watch both at the Atlas and the Archers, that could certainly
Absolutely.
If that was the high scoring game of the week, I mean, certainly
It should be right.
But it does seem like the Atlas coming off a bye.
All right. My first lock. Give me the Outlaws plus 1.5. Feels pretty good. And then give me the Carolina Chaos. Actually, you know what? I don't want to fade Denver there. I will go.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He's late swapping.
Oh my god.
Late swapping. Just look at us.
I will go California plus 1.5.
That was amazing.
Water Dogs are just so bad.
Yeah.
And then for my Polay, I will go Denver money line first game. Then I'll go California money line with New York Atlas money line.
That's crazy to put the Redwoods in a Polay.
Oh, I was thinking
They're due.
though. What are they on that money line?
Plus 140.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking myself. That's my kind
a
of
team is
Polay.
getting plus 140 against the Water Dogs. Have you watched this team?
We're gonna get a tie. First tie.
Yeah.
I could see that coming.
All right, my locks. I'm same way. I'm doing the mile high split. What you were thinking there?
No.
Taking Denver here first, and then of course the Denver loss second game. So Carolina Chaos money line, 2 money lines, 2 minus 110 money lines.
So
right?
sorry, Carolina money line, and then what was the other one, CJ?
Denver money line.
Denver
the
money
mile
line.
high split. 2 separate fan bases, 2 separate games, 2 separate results.
All right, and then what do you got for the Polay?
Polay, we will do the California money. I love that California money line plus money. Philadelphia is already tanking, trading away players to get the CJ, this #1 pick.
That's
absolutely crazy.
Last time I felt this way, they did win.
Yeah. So all right. So we'll go California money line plus 140, New York minus 1.5. That's plus 110. You said.
Yep.
And then we'll go.
Or it's minus 105. But
either way,
yeah,
that's fine. And then we'll throw a Blaze under in there to wrap it up there.
Carolina under.
You got
23
in there. 23 and a
I mean,
half.
how
It's
do we
crazy.
not? That is insane.
And that Ryan.
Yeah, you know what?
Conrad,
I'm gonna add Blaze under to mine as well.
I love it. You're like we're ordering ice cream. You know what? That sounds good to me. Put that on there. I'll put
Everyone's
that
getting garlic nuts.
Yeah,
I'll
why
get
not?
garlic nuts. Add in the Blaze under. Hey, we got some preseason picks coming up in the National Football League. Before we do that, shout out to Rhythm, your place for preseason picks. NFL, they got their NFL model, their college football model. It is firing on all cylinders. It is the place for AI sports picks and props. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. Love it already. Some of the plays I'm getting from Rhythm, and it's cool. You can build your own model, or you can just use their picks, whatever you like to do. Very easy, simple, intuitive to use their app. Try the app. Try it for 7 days. If you don't like it, I will be very, very surprised. And the player props for college and NFL coming soon. Again, one of the plays they really like is Montana State, New Mexico. New Mexico plus 8.5. They have that at 69.6% That is a little week 0 college football action.
Yes.
New Mexico at home, a little secret elevation there against Montana State.
They like anything else to week 0?
Oh, they let's see.
Like how about that SMU game?
They also do like New Mexico on the money line at plus 260. They think that's a 43% chance, and the under 53.5. So they already got some plays here for you early week 0. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, and we're also brought to you by Game Time. See me in studio rocking my Phillies jersey. CJ wearing a Grease the Polls t-shirts because we're going to the Phillies game. CJ already had his tickets, but I was like, hey, I need a place to get some last minute tickets. Where do I go? Of course, I go to Game Time. Got me a great price for a great seat. Love using Game Time. It is my go-to app and your go-to app for last minute tickets. Just go to gametime.co, use the promo code SGPN, get you $20 off. Gametime.co, promo code SGPN. Kramer getting the Danny Dimes jersey out of the closet.
Not true.
Wow. What a great sweat. New Mexico will be in Vegas for that weekend, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could,
contest weekend will be fun.
That's what I'm saying. Contest
Sorry, I didn't want Lax Bro to confuse anyone for the big NFL preseason slate.
So Ryan, preseason's here again. Our official way to play these is load up on. There are clearly some coaches, some teams that care about preseason football, and there's some that don't. And I think you could do pretty good just backing some of these teams, player situation where they care. When in doubt, take the dog. I don't think any of these teams really justify being massive favorites. But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean the couple that we've kind of discussed the things to look for, but basically, you know, we kind of also, if you're in the sheets, shout out to the patrons, did highlight some of the teams who are bet against teams and the teams who are bet on teams. Also notated where we had some joint practices, because generally the joint practices are treated like the game, and the game is treated like a tryout for the bottom of the roster. And so starting with Thursday, Sean, we'll be out in Vegas, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. My New York Football Giants, who have been practicing with the Detroit Lions, are laying 3.5 minus 190 on the money line. Lions plus 160, 34.5 is the total. Last year they practiced together and played, and the Lions won at home. I believe it was 21-16, which would have been an over. Which, note on that, 37 is the number.
Magic number.
That's where you want to start going.
That's the magic number where you want to play overs beneath that and unders above that. So
you want to go over.
In theory, this would be an over.
Yeah. Also, I want to add on to those statistics. Detroit is 12-4 to the over in their last 16 preseason games, and the Giants are 11-2 to the over in the last preseason games.
Heating up. I mean,
so this is an over game. Not too much. Again, they practiced together. By all accounts, it was incredibly intense. I mean, like no bullshit. Giants beat reporters are talking about this being the most intense practice they've seen in a decade plus. So
Brian Dable 0-6 ATS in his limited career as a and only 3-3 straight up. To me,
he does not care about winning the game. That's
for sure.
I
mean, I don't think, again, no one truly cares, but I think Detroit plus 3.5 to me it's crazy that the spread is over a field goal on Detroit all day, 3.5. So Kramer, what are you doing?
I mean, I do think the quarterback situation is interesting because we've seen like Tommy DeVito represents the guy who they might have to gamble, cut, and try to grab on the practice squad. So he's going to be in there. Drew Lock has not been good. He's got to prove something. Yeah, I mean, I would say you got to take
Nathan
the points
O'Rourke. What's his playing time?
Got to take the points.
Are they going to start Daniel Jones?
I would imagine, like
He's
I
busy
said,
fighting this week. Wasn't he in dog piles? What's he doing?
And the Lions
joint practices. I would be surprised if anyone of the starters are playing.
Why is Daniel Jones fighting? What happened?
No, the lineman was getting. There was a situation between a couple linemen, and Daniel Jones came over to stick up for his guy.
Nate Studfeld for the
Who's
Lions.
sticking up for Daniel Jones?
Hendon Hooker. I think the Lions have much better quarterbacks.
Hendon Hooker's all air, but that's okay.
So Kramer, what are you doing?
I said you got to take the over and you got to take the Lions.
Okay, Detroit plus 3.5, over 34.5. CJ, what are you doing?
I'm strict over on this. I already laid this down with my weekly bonus. So
there you go.
Online over 34.5. I don't have a side on that. You're not going to force me to take.
Oh wow.
But if
You're not going to bully CJ into a side.
If I would take the Giants. So only because of I like preseason favorites that are those mid-range numbers. If it's like 2.5, I'll take it. But if it's between 3.5 and 7, I kind of like laying it.
I did see some nuggets about the bet splits, basically fading the public in the preseason. Very profitable. One other interesting nugget that's profitable over the last couple of preseasons, basically when a public, like when a side that's getting more of the handle moves with it by 3 points or more. Okay, that move. 3 and 13 ATS. So bad. You want to fade those moves.
Fade the moves.
Fade the public in the preseason, which brings me to a tricky situation, Sean. You're gonna have to switch my pick because the Lions are the chalk right now.
Yes, I like to take the Giants, but I like that over.
You're crazy.
Giants and over.
Just Detroit for me plus 3.5.
The over, like CJ said, Sean really wanted to pick all the sides. So, I was hoping for more of a lean show.
They're fighting.
Another 4 p.m. Kick here on Thursday. Carolina, New England. Oof, no one wants to watch this one. We have no previous data on these teams.
How can you make? I mean,
New England's laying 6.5 for some reason, minus 300 on the money line. Carolina plus 250. Right. 33.5 is the total. There should never be a 250 dog in the preseason.
No,
period.
6.5 is crazy for a preseason game where we don't know anything about either one of these coaches. Yeah. This is insane.
This is insane.
Why is this number so big?
There was a quote that said Drake May is going to have extended reps on this game.
Is that good or bad?
I know exactly, but I think that's my only reaction to why a number would come out like that. If that means anything or what it means, But
honestly, it's probably they think, okay, Jacoby Brissett's the backups. He's going to be going against some twos. He's going to be carving them up. But what about Andy Dalton? I mean, Andy Dalton will probably see some playing time, and he's probably the best quarterback on that roster. I don't get it. Even Jack Plummer? No, I don't know. Either way, this to me is just you cannot make that's a team 6.5 point favorite.
Wild ass money line to offer us.
So Kramer, what are you doing? Carolina plus 6.5.
100%.
CJ, you in on the Panthers?
Give me the Patriots. I just said if I like the 3.5 in between numbers. 7, lay the big numbers. I don't know what the hell that spread's all about, but I'm not going to ask questions. I'm going to lay it.
He's a market guy,
right?
All right.
CJ is 100% right. The data does suggest that you want to be laying in this range.
All right.
But I'm going to just say that no preseason game should have a money line of this price, and so
fair enough.
You can almost just pencil this in the dog category. All right. Yeah. Also, a lot of wild cards here, like all the coaches. All right. Now we're moving over to Friday, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. We got the Falcons, new regime. Coach comes from, you could maybe assume we have some McVay tendencies, which means don't care about the preseason at all. We do have previous data. I don't know if it matters. They are practicing with the team they're facing, the Dolphins, down in Miami. Miami plus 2.5. Home dogs plus 125 on the money line. Falcons minus 125. 38.5 is the total. I didn't say it in the last game, but give me the over on. I'm playing every total. I'm just skirting the 37. So if it's under, I'm going over. If it's over, it's an under. So in this one, 38.5, we're going to play the under. This is intriguing to me because I'm not so sure that we should just be assuming. I assume there's some news about Atlanta playing some level of starters, but I'm not exactly sure why they're laying the points here. I'm not again, general bias towards the dog, but they practice together. So I think both coaches probably will be playing further down the roster. CJ, you got a nugget on this one?
Well, I mean, I think it came out that Cousins isn't playing, but
that's expected,
right? Of course. And Penix is going to play a lot. They said, well, not a lot, substantial. But apparently, he has not looked good. They say he's been.
Oh no, you can't say that.
He's been weighed down by the volume that he's had to take on. I know that was the quote that's been that I heard. That Penix has been weighed down by volume.
Sounds like someone saying he's dumb.
Well, just a lot to take in. NFL playbook, and you saw in the championship game how kind of remedial that Washington offense would look like against that Michigan defense. I'll just say this. And Miami looked. I remember Miami last preseason burned me when I tried to fade them versus the Texans in that opening game. They kind of came out and ran like they opened up their offense. Now they have more to prove like that. With the playbook. So I like grabbing the 2.5 here.
Yeah.
At
Skylar Thompson, Mike White.
Yeah, I like this.
They have some depth on the offensive side. I think could be a handful.
Right.
I don't think Atlanta should be a road favorite. And again, to your point, if he hasn't looked dialed in practice, it might take a little bit for old Michael Penix to figure it out.
Heineke is on the Falcons.
Well, that's true. That could be a problem.
But Heineke on the Falcons.
I'll go
huge Trump supporter.
I'll go Dolphins plus 2.5.
Under.
Some picture just came out with him like with Trump or something. That's why I said that.
I mean, it could be AI. You can't trust things today. All right.
I want Tyler Heineke to be a Trump supporter. That's exactly what he should be. His name's Tyler.
Wildly
Chuck does
crazy.
pull well in the Tylers.
4 p.m. Another 4 p.m. Friday kick. We got the Steelers taking on the Texans. Texans laying 1.5 on the road here, -110 each way. 37.5 is the total. So we'll take the under. I know that the Texans will be playing their starters, but as I mentioned last week for the Hall of Fame game, Sean, we can expect them maybe for a dozen snaps, maybe.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Steelers, as you'll lay out the case, they're kind of a bet on team in the preseason. This doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I mean, Tomlin loves winning preseason games. He's a poor man's Jim Harbaugh, 40-24 overall preseason. But just look at starting at 2017 on 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. He's on a 6-0 last 2 seasons here, and you're making him a dog. He's one of the best. I mean, Mike Tomlin doesn't have losing seasons in the NFL, and he doesn't have losing seasons in the preseason as well. Now, maybe, I don't know. I don't see any situation. 36-29-1 historically ATS. That's crazy. But again, I think he's going to win straight up. So give me Pittsburgh. The fact that they're a dog is crazy.
Sean, do you remember Plumlee, the quarterback in college?
Yeah.
Mason?
No. John, like recently played for UCF last couple of years.
John Reese Plumlee.
Yes.
That feels like the kind of guy who can be a preseason stud.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
He's on the depth chart for the Steelers.
Nice. Well, and I think Justin Fields is going to get a decent amount of run. I think he's kind of in that mix.
You think he gets a decent run?
I think so.
Couple snaps.
I don't know. Either way, I know the Steelers are going to be trying to win this game, and
we like.
When in doubt, I lean to teams deal with quarterback competition. So
I think, and I also think D'Amico Ryan's a lot more reasons to maybe not dial it up.
Yeah.
Although they did only play 3 quarters last week.
All in on the Steelers.
Right. They only did play 3 quarters, and they did play fine. I'm not saying Russell Wilson will play this game. I don't think obviously shocked if he did, but I do see it in the future because it's kind of funny how Pittsburgh's paying him like $15 an hour this year. They do not care what happens with Russell Wilson.
They're not committed.
Right. They're not committed to him. They're not concerned about his feelings or anything.
Either quarterback.
Yeah. So if Tomlin wants to get him in there, he's going to throw him in there, and they better, jump when they say how high. Are there any concerns with Houston already having a game under their belt? That handicapping. That means nothing to me until I take the Bears next game.
Yeah. But I think
maybe
it's a factor.
Yeah.
I would probably look to it, but the Pittsburgh and how good they've been just winning preseason games, way too strong.
Well, earlier in the week, you guys convinced me and quite almost put the play in for me in my account. Said, don't think about it. The work's been done. Yeah. Steelers, smash it. So it's already in there. Monthly bonus. Bang. Steelers.
Let's get it.
4:30 Friday on the West Coast. Philly, who is a bet against team in the playoff or in the preseason.
Too soon.
That was a slip.
Under Sirianni, they're taking on the Ravens, who incredible. One of the great sports betting trends or
24
ever.
games they won in a row, and they were 20-4 ATS. It was a
They
crazy
are on
They were
run.
21-1.
Yeah.
Against ATS at one point.
They're now on a what 4
0-4 the last 4
ATS
games.
game losing streak,
Yeah.
which means they're due. This is a bet on versus a bet against. There does seem to be some actual reporting suggesting that the Eagles are going to play. Maybe you can comment on this, Sean. The Eagles playing their defensive starters for extended time.
I don't know about extended time, but I think because it's the new Fangio system, I'm reading those same rumors that, hey, maybe the D is going to get a little run early, which is, I think
I don't see how that changes a handicap.
it doesn't change the handicap for the game for me. And I don't know why Baltimore wouldn't be favored. They clearly care about winning. If you recall last year, the Eagles did try and win at the end of the game to break their streak, and Baltimore really went over the top and tried, and they got the win. They didn't get the cover. And
they did try that.
But again, Baltimore is going to try a lot in this game. I think the fact you can get them +1.5, I'm all over it.
Yeah, it's an over game, I guess.
I'm not touching the total, but Ravens +1.5. CJ, what do you do?
Yeah, you got to like the Ravens here. I mean, the Eagles are 4-13-1 against the spread under the last 14 games.
Yeah, and it's a Sirianni thing.
Right.
He doesn't care about covering or winning these preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
What about the offense? I mean,
2-5-1 ATS.
Are they going to play any?
No Eagles first team offense. We'll see.
I think we're buying the dip on Ravens preseason here.
Yeah,
I mean,
I really think there is.
Right.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I feel like the public will be hesitant because they got cleaned last preseason because everyone's like, all they do is win. All they do is win. And maybe a bitter preseason taste in their mouth. But I think, to your point, CJ, this is when no one sees it coming.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dick Puncher in the chat. All right.
I can't believe how many locks I already have here in NFL preseason Thursday and Friday.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
amazing.
Now let's move over to Saturday, 9 a.m. Thank you for starting early on the West Coast. We got another joint practice game. The Commanders and the Jets. Jets catching 2.5 here at home, +125 on the money line. Skins -150, 34.5 is the total. So with these joint practice games, it does seem like they're just going to dial it back, but Jaden Daniels is not going to play, from what I understand.
And Dan Quinn,
I've heard he would play. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Dan Quinn, one of the worst preseason head coaches of all time. Also not great in the regular season, but 6-15 Dan Quinn is as a head coach. Now he hasn't coached in a while, but look at his last 3 years coaching preseason: 0-4, 0-4, 1-4. I mean, the fact that they're favored makes no sense to me because on the other side, Robert Saleh is a bet on head coach when you're looking at preseason records.
This Ian Rappaport.
Robert Saleh 6-3 ATS, and I think 7-2 straight up. So for me, it's Jets +2.5 all day, easy money.
Earlier today, NFL Network. I saw. Pretty sure it was a Rappaport report saying Jaden Daniels would not be playing in the preseason. But
my information could be old. I'm not on today's Rappaport.
Ryan just hates Ian Rappaport.
No, I think your information might be more reliable.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Yeah, I did some research on this, and they said Jaden Daniels will
That guy
play.
deals in the dark arts.
Does Underdog have any numbers out for preseason?
Let me see, because they did for the Hall of Fame game. We'll see. I'm guessing maybe they don't hang him super early, but
I'd like to get on some Luke McCaffrey hovers if I could. I believe he's going to be vying for that. They said there's talks of him vying for that number 2 slot opposite of Terry McCall.
Well, I have
no NFL preseason stuff not up yet, right. But check in like day of, maybe even day before.
Sean, this is a we're going to put real money on this one because
I love the Jets.
Do you know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Jets in this one? Not Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't need to play in the
not
preseason.
Tyrod.
I don't know if you need to see a ton from an old vet like Tyrod.
He's got lungs that are
So maybe you got the UFL MVP Adrian Martinez running around. He's been playing football for a couple months.
Wow.
He's going to be a preseason DFS stud. Sean, get him going in your lineup this weekend. This Jets team is going to crush. He's one of.
He is probably a good preseason DFS.
Oh my God,
good call.
He's perfect. He's tuned. The other guy's a guy named Andrew Peasley. Not excited about him, but Adrian Martinez, a guy that just lit up an actual football league.
He just held up a trophy. I mean, he just won a championship.
Higher level of comp, UFL or NFL preseason week 1? Probably NFL preseason.
So CJ, what are you doing?
That MVP also wasn't the starting quarterback for half the season for that team too. That's what kind of league they were in.
Yeah, it's a Skip Holtz problem.
It was Matt Carroll though, who had to bail him out in the championship game, the semifinal game, by the way. Anyway, I'm with you. I'll just follow it. I think that number is because of my Jaden Daniels information.
Yeah,
so screw you, Rappaport.
Yeah,
Oh, nice CJ.
I'm in on the Jets.
Yeah,
Let's go.
So let's take the Jets and just shout out. Take a look for some Luke McCaffrey numbers if you can see it later.
I can't. I mean, we got to. I will be firing a DFS lineup. Chicago, Buffalo, both historically relative bet on squads.
Yes.
Two defensive-minded football guy head coaches who like to win football games. Chicago laying 1.5 minus 120 here on the road in Buffalo. Buffalo one plus 100 home dog. 37.5 is the total. So again, this would be an over. What do you do? I mean,
this
Caleb Williams not playing
because Sean McDermott is he's up there. He's making a run at Tomlin. He's 14-7, smaller sample size, but still a guy who loves to win him some preseason games. 15-8 ATS there. There's some pushes that aren't included, but
like a cockpit of an airplane.
Yeah, this one's tough because
loves to dominate
again. Eberflus has also been again small sample size, but he's been already 5-2 if you count the
football guy.
If you count the Hall of Fame game,
right?
I will take.
No. If you don't count it, I heard he's 5-1 still. He'd be 6-1 or maybe 2. Depends on your number. The Dalai Lama's got him at 5-1. I had a better number, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm actually going Buffalo here as a home dog because their fans actually show up for these preseason games, and there's been a couple times where I've had money against Buffalo in preseason. I'm like, duh. I can't do it because the fans are like actually getting these guys fired up. So I will take Buffalo, but this is a tough one.
I'm gonna go with the Bears there with my handicapping of them already playing a game under their belt.
I don't hate that.
Coming in a little hotter. The Bears were 12-4 against the spread in preseason. Even for like I said, Dalai Lama has been 5-1 if you don't even include last week's Thunder out. The Bills, of course, also 11-3 before the last 5 games. They are the last 4 games. Last 4 games they are 1-3 against the spread in the preseason. In the preseason, but overall they're obviously a bet on team, like you said, because of that crowd. I'll take the Bears with the game under our belt. They're getting laying 1. Is it
1.5?
All right,
Oh, is that?
Oh, look at CJ's got some key numbers in preseason.
That's tough. Well, because extra points are become a situation because a lot of time coaches you see a lot of 16-15s. You know what I mean? Because they like going for it because they're like, why waste
time?
We can run a play. We can run another play, or maybe you could practice kicking since it's 35% of the goddamn game.
Preseason,
I'll lay the 1.5 for the Bears. Go.
Preseason is the time for Mitchell Trubisky to shine.
Revenge spot.
Come on, Sean. How'd you not lead off with that?
You're right. Mitch, please dominates in the
Mitch
preseason.
better have my money. Revenge spot Trubisky. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, give me the garlic. Give me the garlic knots.
Adjusting his order.
Get some beef on those nuts.
All right. Let's go. Kramer,
1 p.m. on Saturday. We got the Vegas Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings plus 3.5 at home, plus 165 on the money line. Raiders are minus 195. 38.5 is the total. Sean, I believe you suggested to the audience about a week ago that they should grab the plus 1.5 with the Raiders.
On the Friday VSiN show, I said this number's going to move. Make sure you lock it up now. Raiders plus 1.5. It ballooned up to 5.5 till some sharp groups came in the other way. But
is that sharp? I mean,
I don't think
Minnesota has shown they have zero fucks to give about winning preseason, and I have a feeling Antonio Pierce is gonna want to win.
So this hook is just meant to scare you. Don't be scared off by that hook. Las Vegas laying 3.5 is the play. It is in potential for Lock City, the mayor of Lock City.
And CJ laid out the trend. This is in the range.
Well, and also too, Kevin O'Connell never won a preseason game. He's 0-6, 1-5 ATS. Love Antonio Pierce in this situation.
Yes.
Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew both going to see some run here. I like it a lot. Vegas laying the 3.5. Kramer, it sounds like you're also on board.
I think I'm so positive that the Raiders are going to boat race this Vikings team.
Yeah, I'm with them on that. I know another a syndicate company online that's popular that likes to tout their numbers they give it to, and you gave a much better number. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
And they lied and said now it's like at 5.5, and you're saying it's at 3.5. So they make up the fake numbers that they can't even get anymore.
These numbers are as of show recording time.
Yep,
that's when I lock them.
I'll just say I won't release who that company is, but they gave it.
I'll release all over.
90 degrees.
125 on Saturday. We got the Green Bay Packers. I think.
Real quick, I like that over too in the Vegas Minnesota game.
Okay,
really? Even though it's over my key number of 37. Good luck.
No, I thought it was 37. It's at 37.
38.5.
Oh, it's at 38.
Oh no, the number's 38. Oh,
I'm sorry, I gave it a 36.
Oh wow! Look at that. Well, it is the preseason. Numbers move. You got to believe them all. We'll honor that 36.
Yeah.
Green Bay, Cleveland laying 2.5 minus 145 on the money line. Packers plus 125. 39.5 is the total. LaFleur, not really a big gives a fuck in the preseason. Plus, Sean, dial up the Cleveland Browns roster. Who do they have still?
Sean Watson not playing, but Jameis Winston, I would imagine, gets some run.
And DTR preseason. God. Yes. Smash the Browns.
Yep.
Browns Jets parlay. A DTR Adrian Martinez parlay is in order.
And Kramer, just to show you that I'm not. I mean, this is obviously official. I wrote over 36.
Yeah, you did.
It was written down.
He's writing in pen too. There's no way to erase that. So to me, simple handicap. Give me Cleveland.
Woo.
And 39.5 indicates an under.
Yeah.
Are you playing that, Ryan?
I'm playing all the total. Like I said, every total. If it's over 37, I'm playing under. If it's under 37, I'm playing over.
I love that.
So I will have 16 totals in my pocket. And I'll get paper tickets.
That system, by the way, went 12-3 week 1 of the preseason last year.
Yeah.
And I'll get paper tickets. So it's as of Thursday at some point, whenever I have the time to get down to the window.
CJ, Cleveland minus 2.5. Are you on board?
Yeah, you had me at DTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some quarterbacks, you just got to make a mental note.
Preseason God.
Yep.
They're just like, they're not good enough to be a regular season quarterback, but they can crush it in the preseason. Speaking of which, 4 p.m. now on the West Coast, the San Francisco 49ers, the Tennessee Titans. We don't really know what Brian Callahan might decide to do when it comes to how he's going to approach the preseason. I would imagine being a new coach and your dad being an offensive line coach, you maybe want to get some reps.
But also he's coming from Zach Taylor, who's 3-9.
Yeah,
in preseason.
who basically another from that line of the young coaches who don't give a fuck about the preseason. Also worth noting, the 49ers, they have Josh Dobbs on the roster. He strikes me as the kind of guy that if he gets some action, he could have some preseason moments.
Oh, and shout out to everyone who reached out and tagged the 49ers beat reporter who announced Christian McCaffrey will be missing multiple weeks due to an injury, strained calf. Again, I hate predicting injury, but I feel like I owe it to people and inform them, hey, don't draft Christian McCaffrey this year. This is an injury year for Christian McCaffrey, and we've already seen it. And again, I hate to do that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have a duty to the public. So it regretted me to inform everyone.
You're a journalist first. You always have
that he was going to get hurt. 400 touches means you're going to get hurt. It's that simple.
Quarterbacks on Tennessee: Mason Rudolph and Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors might just be, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
I got Malik Neighbors.
Malik Willis.
He might be bad. So
I would. Actually, they like so far what Malik Willis has looked in camp. Either way, I'm taking
trying to trade him. They're trying to get him.
5.5 up. 5.5, way too much.
Sean, you know what it means when they like a third string quarterback in camp.
You're right. 5.5 though, way too much for Tennessee to be laying. I'm on San
with
Francisco.
Josh Dott, the Pastronaut.
All right.
The preseason Pastronaut.
CJ, what are you doing here?
I'm a market guy. 5.5. I'm laying it. I don't care what. I don't care what the
he likes
analysis
the
is.
trend. He's
Yeah.
the trend guy.
I love it.
And this would be an under if you're playing along at home.
Oh, I already had the over, but of course I gave that out at 36.5.
Get a nice little Polish middle here. All right. Kansas City, Jacksonville, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Andy Reid pretty much 500 in the preseason. Data is inconclusive. Jags -2.5 here. Doug P also basically 500 in the preseason.
Revenge game.
-135 on the money line. KC +115. 39.5 is the total. Ian Book going to be given a chance to earn a spot on the team in this game, from what I read from one of the practice or the press conference notes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
How about Carson Wentz? Now, can we get him now?
Ooh, that would actually be, if you're looking to play DFS, Ryan, and maybe we'll give out some DFS lineups on social. Carson Wentz in DFS, I think it's a smash play.
Really?
Do you remember when he came in for that meaningless game?
I just don't
last
think
year he ran in for a touchdown.
I think they're going to play Ian Book more.
Okay,
That's what.
I mean, the minutes
That's
thing,
what would
but
worry
I
me.
think he will run and try and get a rushing touchdown.
Of course.
And he's kind of like their mascot. You see him going around in practice. He's tripping and falling. Mahomes is laughing at him. They're putting like the "kick me" sign on his back. You know, like he's the nerd going down the hallway. So I think
bullying.
Yeah, I think when he gets in it, they're all going to like ironically cheer and laugh for him, kind of situation.
Rudy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, oh, there he is, the equipment manager jacking up threes. He might have a little cerebral palsy. Who knows what's going on? But yeah, but I think he will try hard because he has to now.
If he knows how to try hard.
All right. I do like the under there though as well. But
So what do you do? Sidewise, I don't. I think this is a toss up. I'm gonna go Jags just because it's gonna be hot as shit in Jacksonville and super humid. And I think if you're a road team, it's tough to get up for that.
I think Peterson kisses the ring here though. Doesn't want to got.
Doesn't want to show up, Reed.
Yeah, Reed's responsible for that. Reed's responsible for all these people having jobs, including a Super Bowl winner. So yeah, I'll take Kansas City.
Do you remember when Mac Jones didn't go down in the Pro Bowl? Just kept running.
I vaguely
Feels like something he might do.
I mean, remember Mac Jones making the Pro Bowl?
Yeah. But he just like didn't. He's like, I'm not going to go down with this fake tackle.
So you go with Jags?
Yeah.
All right.
Got to. All right. Next up, another 4 p.m. game on Saturday on the West Coast. Tampa Bay and the Bengals. Bengals laying 4.5 -240 on the money line.
What?
Yeah. Bucks +190. 30.
What?
8.5 is the total.
What? Zach Taylor, a man who doesn't care at all. They already just they're already dealing with some injuries. They're gonna play it super conservative. He is 6-6 ATS, but he's 3-9 straight up. So I don't know where he's gonna get laying these points. Give me Tampa Bay all day. They're gonna be a live dog on the money line.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do a market play here. You're right about that. I know normally it's a no-brainer. Split aces. Don't even think about it. But all those points you made are exactly right. The Bengals are the epitome of not caring early. They don't care the first 4 weeks of the regular season.
It's true. So Tampa Bay, you're on Tampa Bay plus 4.5.
I'll take plus 4.5 with Tampa Bay. Absolutely.
I can tell you that the Bengals must have been bet by like a group or something, because they have one of the most out of whack like handle bet splits. It's like almost 100% of the handle and only 53% of the bets, according to DK. I know a lot of sharps get down over there, but yeah. This is rubber meets the road kind of stuff.
Right.
CJ's going against his trend. Two trends colliding.
Well, I just feel, there's just too much fear with the Burrow that they don't even want to get Browning hurt. They can't put anyone out there.
The fact that we're going to be able to take the Niners and the Bucks and the Jets, Sean, and put it into a round robin, maybe sprinkle in the Panthers in the round robin parlay we're going to get in for the preseason, Sean. Tail of the tape segment on the VC show this Friday, and because it's real live football.
I don't know. So what are we doing? We're all on. We're all
Tampa.
on Tampa.
We're on Tampa.
I mean, we might have 4 dogs. There is a lot of dogs I like outright because these spreads. Who gives a shit? Give me the money line. Seattle, Clippers or Chargers. Sorry, Chargers.
I saw LAC as well.
Seahawks -1.5, -130 on the money line. Chargers +105. 34.5 is the total. So that's an underplay. Harbaugh seems to care.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about the other coach.
First time.
We recently did the Seattle preview.
Easton Stick. It seems like a preseason god.
We recently did the Seattle preview. I did listen to a number of like interviews and such with the coaching staff and the coaches. It does seem like they could run their starters out there. That being said,
not Geno Smith because he's dealing with the knee and
right.
No, not Geno. But where I'm getting at is that being said, Sam Howell, when he was asked his thoughts on Sam Howell, he had a very difficult time saying something mediocre. And so it makes me think Sam Howell, if he plays a bunch, it's going to be a problem. I love the Chargers here. And to your point, Easton Stick also in the quarterback pool for this weekend.
Oh yeah. He loves running. So we're both I'm on the Chargers. Yeah. Just because when in doubt, Harbaugh I think will care a little bit more.
Favorite? I don't understand.
Seattle? Yeah, I don't know. To your point, Ryan, it's probably just some talk of some starters playing.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the Herbert thing. Not like Herbert's going to play. I think Harbaugh's happy Herbert's hurt. He loves like backup quarterbacks.
He's like Colby loves backup quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to win with Easton Stick? You're damn right. I want with JJ McCarthy.
Exactly. So he's going to have the khaki asshole mode, full on gear. He's going to make a splash. Love the Chargers here.
Ooh, EB Steelers saying next year we should do a preseason survivor. That's a pretty fun. You got to take 4 teams each week. That's pretty fun.
One team each day.
Oh, okay.
Like each game day, you got to pick a game.
Well, EB, if you can find like someone who runs something like that,
I'm in.
That does it. We will be in. And Virgil saying, CJ says, "Fuck the future of the planet with all that paper on the clipboard." Sullivan's clipboard should be a show.
That's right. I have the Colts sticker in here, and let me tell you something, Virgil. And the shout out to the clipboard. I know you are doing a complimentary. This is the future of the planet. I don't know if you saw the outages last week, but these computers, when they go down, we all go down. Pulse. I'm going to be the only one standing here because I have my own itineraries and I have plans here.
I will say
I'll be lost without it.
The resources it took to make the laptop probably worse for the future of the earth than
it's like recycling.
5 pieces of paper.
Yeah, it's like recycling. It costs the planet more to actually make the plants, recycle the things that
CJ, we're not trying to get like muted on YouTube. You can't say bad things.
Well, Neuby already talked about abortions for his play for crying out loud. Jesus, I can't talk about aluminum cans.
Cash the over on fetus references. Thanks to Neuby.
I know where he stands on that divide. All right, 5 p.m. Saturday night on the West Coast. We got the Saints and the Cardinals out in the desert. Arizona +105. Saints -125. The spreads is a measly -1.5. This feels like a normal preseason week 1 spread and money line.
Yeah.
Not like some of these out of whack ones. 36.5 is the total. So that would be an overplay. I don't have too many notes here. Dennis Allen kind of doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of vets on this team, so you expect you're going to see a lot of the younger guys, not as good of players. Meanwhile, Arizona is a fairly young team. This strikes me as you got to take Arizona, but I don't have a strong.
I'll go New Orleans.
This would be a lean if you'd let me.
Yeah.
I'm not. This one is weird because I think Jonathan Gannon he only had 1 year in the preseason and he was 2-1. But if you look back, he's coming from that Eagles coaching tree, which doesn't care about the preseason. So I'll go Saints, but
Clayton Tune.
This is the one no play for me.
Say Clayton Tune's name. That's the guy who. I mean, I think that you want to talk about a third string. I mean, Desmond Ridder somehow is the backup. Sean, we need to make mental note of that.
These are the games like you're saying, what's the no play? like I don't even know if the game actually happens or if it's just like, you know, has it been taped beforehand? You next thing you know, it's on like 2 a.m. on the NFL Network.
Yeah, they're rerunning it.
It seems like it's already on a rerun before it even happens, you know, and it's kind of late night. And you come back from the bar and like, oh yeah, I'll just have this on, and you fall asleep to it. And like, oh, did this happen last year? What is this? You know, and then
great description of the game.
Right.
CJ, what are you doing? Arizona.
What's the total on this game?
36.5. Maybe just moved.
I can see some points going on in this game. Let's go over.
Over 36.5.
Worth noting, this could be the Spencer Rattler has arrived moment.
Oh yes.
I'll take the Cardinals, but yeah, that's little concerning there. Nathan Peterman is also on the roster, so maybe that's the opposite effect. Sunday, they're giving us a little training, Sean. 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Denver Broncos. I love that the NFL does this intentionally. They want to wake up our Sunday spirit. Hey, guess what we're doing soon? Sundays matter again. Denver. They're heading to Indy, take on the Colts. Colts laying 1.5 -125. Another normal preseason setup here, +105 for the Broncos. 38.5 is the total. We're going to take the under in the system of 37. I mean, Sean Payton
historically, he's sitting right around 500 preseason. No strong, doesn't care, does care. I think he is going to go out of his way to set up a situation where Bo Nix looks very good and wins the starting quarterback job for the Denver Broncos. There was a big report. Oh, the Broncos released their depth chart. Of course, they put all the rookies, regardless of how much playing time snaps they've been getting, at the bottom of the depth chart. The media reacted, oh, Peyton overdrafted Bo Nix, and now he's the 3rd string quarterback. Sean Payton is one level ahead of all you nerd and aggregator people. Bo Nix will look very good in this game because Sean Payton will design it so even if he has to give away a couple like good plays, if he has to burn those, he will go out of his way to make Bo Nix look good.
So he's playing.
Give him some confidence. Bo Nix is playing. Why would he not be playing?
No, I'm not. I assume such. I've not seen any sort of confirmation.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why he would not play. I mean, just because.
Why would Caleb Williams not?
Well,
play?
Caleb Williams is a different situation. I also agree. I think Caleb Williams should have played.
Yeah,
I think he should have played the Hall of Fame game.
I want if nothing else, I want you to go through a pregame warm up.
Right.
Like you're playing. I want you to start a game. Go out there. Let's have it. Let's have a series. Like that's not ridiculous. You're not going to get hurt. It's
right. Absolutely, he should play. But there at least is an argument for Caleb Williams because Caleb Williams has no chance of not being the starter. Yeah. Like Bo Nix, I mean, you're still technically fighting for a job. But I like all 3 of those quarterbacks in the preseason. Don't you think?
Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I love Zach Wilson.
I don't think so.
Zach Wilson with anyone with chips on their shoulders and they got to play. This is the only time Peyton actually had like a quarterback room like this too in the preseason. So that 500 record, first of all, he's a con man to begin with, where he's a good coach without Drew Brees in his
he did get Kerry Collins to a Super Bowl, the Giants, as an offensive coordinator. That little Giants nugget pulled out.
Right, if you want to pull Sean Payton there for sure.
I'm with you though. I do wonder, like this quarterback room is potentially trash in the regular season.
Regular season trash, no doubt about that. I'm not trying to make that
probably
argument
not trash in the preseason.
Love this team in the preseason. And then Denver, and they have something to prove because of things like that, because people are starting for the first time doubt Sean Payton in his career.
Yeah, which, you know, he's kind of put himself out. He took a situation that was going to kind of put him in a little bit of a tester. All right, what are you doing, Sean?
Oh, 100% Broncos, because Bo Nix is going to carve up the defense, and they have a trio of like Zach Wilson, Stidham, Bo Nix. I mean, I think those are all guys that Stidham and Wilson have started in NFL games. They're going to see a decent run. I don't think Colts are looking to get AR-15 or Joe Flacco a ton of reps.
Sam Ehlinger was he's another guy you circle for DFS.
He is good in preseason, but I like Denver. This isn't going to be one of my locks, but I do like Denver here.
Sam Ehlinger is a preseason Hall of Famer. He's not just a DFS.
You want to go against this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in. What are you doing, Kramer? Indy?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it. I mean, there's a couple quarterback spots. It's like, all right.
Ehlinger is the man.
He's made a name. Like there's only so many guys who have made an actual name for themselves in the preseason. It does seem like he's going to be in the mix. They do have a deeper quarterback room, so maybe he doesn't get enough of the time, but I got to imagine he's getting at least a quarter. All right, last one. Sunday, 4 p.m. This is a weird time. Why not give us a 125 kick here, guys?
And are we sure this is
no.
Let me see. So none of these are Monday.
I didn't think based on the
Okay, no, you're right. Yeah.
All right, Dallas Rams, they were joint practicing. The Rams, which Dallas hosted the Rams for joint practices in Oxnard. And they're playing the game in Los Angeles. So ridiculous. Typically that would be a little confusing, but Dallas laying 4.5 minus 200 here. Rams plus 170. 34.5 is the total. So that would be an over. I don't think you can play Sean McVay.
I am. Give me the Rams plus 4.5.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Dallas is,
this is the preseason. The picks don't count, and the McVay is a clear bet against Coach.
Fade McVay. This is a Dallas home game to a T. I was just out of golfing at River Ridge for a tournament with the Roosevelt Golf Club, which is right on the top of the Dallas Cowboy training camp out there in Oxnard.
You rip any over the practice facility?
I aimed a few of them out there, kind of like when I was hitting them at the cliff there at Sunnybrook, but there was a line like Field of Dreams of D-bags in jean shorts and bad fade cuts going to this thing. I mean, this crowd will be packed with Cowboy fans. I'll lay and a market lay to 4.5. Fade McVay. This is an easy Cowboy play.
Kramer's a Cowboys fan. That makes sense. All right,
I'm fading McVay. I'm following the rules.
Let's get some locks, and dogs. Kramer, what do you got?
I mean, I think we have to. All right, so definitely need to lock up the Adrian Martinez experience with the Jets.
Okay, New York Jets plus 2.5.
We need to lock up DTR with the Browns.
What was that price?
How many? Wait,
Cleveland minus.
Wait, how many locks are we doing? 3?
Sure,
3 locks. Then we're gonna lock up Tomlin. Pittsburgh plus 1.5. We'll make. Oh man, there's a couple bigger dog prices. We're not using San Francisco. Give me San Francisco on the money line.
Okay, and what was their money line was?
Actually, no. Can't cancel that order.
Okay.
Tampa Bay on the money line.
Tampa Bay plus 190
Cincinnati
on the money line.
Yeah.
I'm with you. That makes it my dog as well. You didn't include the Ravens there.
I figured one of you guys would get there.
Okay.
We only had 3 lock spots.
So for me, Steelers lock it up. Jets plus 2.5 lock it up, and the Raiders minus 3.5. Even though it's moved, don't let that.
Should we add a lock? I like the Raiders too. Yeah. I got 5 locks. I got a full circuit card of plays.
Okay, I'll also add Baltimore. What is it? Plus 1.5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Throw that on my card too. I got. Yeah, there's my 5th.
You have 6, including the dog, right?
Yeah.
You were making a mockery of the lock.
What do you
system.
mean?
The dog.
Preseason. I'm warming up.
The dog.
Fuck off.
The Bucks plus 190 on the money line. CJ, what do you got?
Lock up the Ravens, of course.
Okay.
The over in that Giants game.
Oh, that's another one I need to lock up. I'll just keep adding these here
for sure.
I mean,
Cleveland, of course, was a lock. Harbaugh's a lock. And
which Harbaugh? Shit. Oh, a Chargers.
Oh, Sean, a Harbaugh parlay.
Yeah. Harbaugh parlay. Absolutely.
A Harbaugh. A Harbaugh.
Couple dogs. Miami money line.
Okay,
I like that one as well. And what was the other one we wanted there?
Wow, the Chargers is also a great play. Fuck.
Chargers a fantastic play.
So many good plays.
I'll go with you with the Tampa Bay their money line. I like that play just because I think Cincinnati shuts it down. Yeah, that's plenty of locks.
We got a cascading locks for preseason.
Toss the Bears in there. Put the Bears in my car. Let's get the garlic knots.
Can I say that we should do a round robin? Tampa, Niners, And then
Jets are dog as well.
Actually,
right?
I'll post it, but I'm gonna round robin some shit when we get to Vegas.
Yeah. All right. Fair
all right, Sean, we'll be out in Vegas. Bet Bash, check it out Thursday, and then the VSiN show Friday night. Perfect time to catch up on all of our NFL team previews. Already 16 in the bag by the time you're listening to this. Now, check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast with CJ Sullivan.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second money green. He's Ryan.
Oh, football is so back.
Kramer, let it ride.